The Lost Boy and the Elephant Adventure. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green hills, there lived a handsome little boy with brown hair and big brown eyes. His name was Jack. Jack was a curious boy, always eager to explore. He loved spending his days wandering through the woods, discovering new things. One sunny afternoon, Jack felt bored at home. His parents were busy with their work, so Jack quietly slipped out the door. "I'll just take a quick walk and be back in no time," he thought. But Jack's curiosity got the best of him, and he wandered deeper and deeper into the woods, farther than he had ever gone before. The trees were taller, the air cooler, and soon Jack realized he was lost. He looked around, but everything seemed the same: tall trees, thick bushes, and no sign of the way home. "Uh-oh, I think I'm lost," he whispered to himself. But Jack wasn't the type to be scared easily. He was brave, and besides, he was on an adventure. After walking for a while, Jack came across a giant tree, but something strange caught his eye. Behind the tree, there was a huge gray shape moving slowly. Jack squinted and couldn't believe his eyes. Standing right in front of him was an elephant. Jack stared in amazement. He knew there were no elephants in his village, so where had this one come from? The elephant gazed back at him with large, gentle eyes. Slowly, it extended its long trunk toward Jack, as if saying hello. Jack hesitated for a second, but then he realized this giant creature was friendly. "Hi," Jack said, feeling a little silly talking to an elephant. "My name is Jack. What's your name?" The elephant lifted its trunk, but, of course, didn't answer. Jack giggled and decided to give the elephant a name. "I'll call you Jumbo," he said proudly. Jumbo the elephant gently touched Jack's hair with its trunk, as if agreeing with the name. From that moment, Jack and Jumbo became fast friends. Together, they walked through the forest. With Jumbo by his side, Jack didn't feel lost anymore. Jumbo even helped him by picking fruit from the tall trees with his long trunk and showing him a small, crystal-clear pond. Jack sat by the pond, dipping his feet into the cool water, while Jumbo splashed around with his trunk, spraying water into the air. Soon they were having a playful water fight, and Jack's laughter echoed through the forest. He wasn't scared or worried at all. He was having too much fun with his new giant friend. But as the sun began to set, Jack realized it was getting late. The sky turned shades of orange and pink, and he remembered he needed to get home. "Oh no, Jumbo, how am I going to find my way back?" he asked, a little worried this time. Jumbo, as clever as he was big, had an idea. He raised his trunk high into the air and let out a loud, deep trumpet sound. The sound echoed across the forest, bouncing off the trees. Jack covered his ears. It was so loud. But then in the distance, he heard another sound, a voice calling his name. It was his father. Jack's heart leapt with joy. Jumbo bent down, and Jack climbed onto his back. Together, they headed toward the sound of his father's voice. In just a few minutes, Jack spotted his dad standing among the trees, looking worried but hopeful. "Jack!" his father shouted when he saw him. He was stunned to see Jack riding on the back of a massive elephant. Jack slid off Jumbo's back and ran into his father's arms. "Where have you been?" his father asked, hugging him tightly. Jack smiled and pointed at Jumbo. "I made a new friend," he said proudly. His father looked at the elephant in awe. He couldn't believe his eyes, but Jumbo simply waved his trunk in a friendly goodbye. After a final trumpet call, Jumbo turned and disappeared into the trees, his large gray shape fading into the shadows of the forest. Hand in hand, Jack and his father walked back home, where his mother was waiting for them at the door. Jack couldn't wait to tell her about his adventure and how he had made a friend for life, a giant, gentle elephant named Jumbo. From that day on, whenever Jack went into the woods, he would look for Jumbo, hoping to meet his old friend again. And who knows, maybe one day they would go on another adventure together. And so Jack's adventure in the forest wasn't just about getting lost. It was about finding a new friend in the most unexpected way. Adventures often bring surprises, and sometimes the best friendships come from the wildest of places.